Okay, the final step number 3, be honest about what you're able to do. Gaining clarity about your customers' expectations and renewing your focus on what your business objective is going to be, those are both essential. But they are both worthless if you don't have the right people to actually execute that strategy. It is critical that you have the players required to pull off the game plan, and that you're able to effectively rally your team to do new and hard things. I suggest at least 3 areas to focus on when it comes to improving your internal engagement and enhancing your ability to execute. The first is coping skills. The emotional and the psychological fallout from COVID-19 is immense. Your leaders and their teams have not dealt with this type of prolonged and elevated stress and anxiety, perhaps in their entire lives. Many of them have faced the direct impacts of this pandemic, including the loss of loved ones and friends. None of us have been adequately trained for this. In a very short amount of time, our individual, our interpersonal, and even our national psychological psyche have been shattered. Now, although it may be tempting to simply turn your attention to the business of your business, that would be inappropriate. We cannot ignore the mental and the emotional turmoil that our people are dealing with. Your leadership team's EQ at times like this must exceed their IQ. You must instruct and train your managers to guide teams differently than they did before. Many are now managing departments that have been drastically downsized. Some are facing survivor's guilt, and others are stressed about the likelihood of future workforce reductions. They're also dealing with new products and services and creating new experiences to help your business remain relevant. That leaves everyone feeling insecure and perhaps ill-equipped for what's to come. You probably need new personnel and new procedures that will ensure that you can engage regularly with your employees to discuss how this crisis is affecting them. Let them express their feelings in non-judgmental ways, and help evolve your corporate communications to a style that effectively leads people through change, knowing that we're all struggling to hold it all together. Now, to do all of that effectively, consider using a leadership coach, someone to help you navigate your way through this. A good leadership coach can help restore a sense of confidence. They accelerate the development of new skills, and they improve interpersonal issues. They also become a trusted advisor for all of the chiefs that you have put in charge of executing various plans. Also, consider new training programs for all of the rank and file. Help them rebuild a sense of community. And most importantly, learn how to develop resiliency skills. It's been proven that those attributes tied to resiliency not only can boost employee well-being, they can boost company performance. Simply put, the best brands I know prioritize their relationships with employees, and you should be doing that now more than ever. The second step is capability. Due to downsizing, many organizations have now tasked people with responsibilities beyond their core competencies. Given these new stewardships, they need guidance, but their bosses are equally time-strapped, and often they too lack domain expertise. So I appreciate that companies need to do more with less, but expecting excellence from well-intentioned but underqualified people is a recipe for failure. So in order to fill the skills and the capability gaps, don't just rely on full-time internal hires. That is old school thinking. Even before COVID-19, new platforms were being created to evolve employee expectations and enable advanced utilization of contingent workers. A steep recession is simply going to progress this trend into the mainstream and create permanent change for how high-performance companies attract high-performance talent to get the work done. Contingent workers provide a broad set of talents which can help you choose people with different skills or with specific industry experience or in desirable geographies that will allow your organization to benefit from the best and the brightest while avoiding the burden of full-time overhead and benefits, and make it tougher for you to move nimbly and adjust to market conditions. Now, how to fully exploit the benefits of an outsourced talent network, that's a video for another day. But for now, just know that volatile markets demand variable operating models, and immediate access to valuable talent via tools like Communo can provide you with instant boots on the ground and give you the tools you need when and where you need them most, and can help complement in-house resources who lack the bandwidth or the experience to fill their essential roles. The final topic is culture. The way that leaders handle decision-making and communications in times of crisis will reverberate throughout your culture for years. The most lasting impacts will deal with the levels of trust and brand loyalty that your people feel towards you as the boss and as your company and towards your company. So, according to some recent HR surveys, only about half of the employees surveyed said that they're actually satisfied with how their employers are dealing with COVID-19 and their response actions. 63% of employees said that their employers are communicating poorly during this crisis. And that's causing them to experience significant levels of brand distrust. Because so many businesses have been dismantled by this pandemic, there is no better time to assemble your A-team and recommit to better meeting customer and employee expectations. Great cult brands are built from the inside out. Your people are where the rubber meets the road. About 30% of our cult branding engagements involve improvements to internal engagement, because without sufficient attention paid to the players who are expected to bring your offerings to life, you can expect suboptimal results. Proper people strategies triage internal issues and make foundational improvements to both employee happiness and productivity. Now, regrettably, this pandemic has killed tens of thousands of people throughout the US and Canada. And the mitigation issues imposed to combat the virus have created thousands of company casualties. Many negative economic effects will continue for a long, long time. But the truth is this: whether we are in a boom economy or a bust economy, prioritizing proven audience engagement strategies and flawlessly executing tactics aimed at meaningful value creation for customers, prospects, or staff will help any business rise above their mediocre peers and help them remain relevant for years to come. Now is not the time to feel sorry for ourselves. Now is the time to act. I wish you the best of luck, and I offer my team's help if you think you need it. Thank you.